Good afternoon. This is Dwayne, CFRN. Sorry for the late start after I boldly proclaimed we would start at 5:30 p.m. sharp. I had to hot swap the servers. That's probably TMI. But what I need to know is if you can hear me. So if everything came back together like it's supposed to, please type a Y in the chat box. And I just lost you. Alright, I just lost everybody, which means I'm going to have to log back in. So stand by. This may become known as the summer of my discontent. Yep, that's right.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an organizer and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast.
And we're still not working properly.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, oh boy. You know, I gotta say, GoToWebinar has served us well for many years, but I think it's about time for a change. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. A lot of competition, fairly priced, etc., etc. Now, I know I'm streaming from my end. The question is can you hear me? If you can, type a Y in the chat box. If you're listening to the YouTube stream, I cannot manage the chat box over here and the chat box over there at the same time. I am hooking up another monitor for that purpose, and hopefully sometime this coming week I'll be able to monitor both chat boxes at the same time. So, can I get a Y in the chat box to see, because if you can't hear me, we might as well just put this thing to sleep. Okay, apparently nobody can hear me. Mic's hot. Alright, I'm guessing people are having to log back in, so let me give it a couple of minutes. It's 2:40. At 2:45, if I don't have a Y in the chat box, I'm just going to shut her down. Because that will have given everybody time to log out, log back in. It may be that GoToWebinar is just simply having some kind of problem today, and we can't access it. Which is a shame, because I wanted to get you guys ready for the trial that you're going to start tomorrow morning. Okay, 2:41. 4 minutes and counting. Okay, guys, we're going to shut this down one more time, and stay with me, and we're going to give it one more go.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an organizer and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast.
Okay, for anyone that's tuned in on YouTube, I'm going to kill that feed and restart it.
Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, alright, some people should dribble in here now that I've re-emailed and I've tweeted and I think I even Facebooked. I don't know. Let me check. I could go into the details of what happened, but why should you have to suffer with me? You've already been patient enough to hang out and go through all this. So, if somebody can hear me, put a Y in the chat box and I will continue. Otherwise, we will suffice it to say that she ain't working and we'll just have to see you at the bell. Alright, looks like... Hey, Anna. What's up, Jay? How you doing? Alright. Okay. Alright, so we got some yeses. So we do have communications going. This is going to be short. In fact, I had planned for it to be over by now. I mean, it's Easter. I know you're still, taking stuff out of your basket. But I won't keep you long. I just want to answer your questions. That's all. I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to do... acrobatics. I just want you to know that if you're on the trial and you have questions about anything that has anything to do with the trial, type it into the chat box now. Let me answer it for you, and then you can go back to your family festivities. Okay? Remember, when you type something into the chat box, nobody, and I mean nobody, can see it except myself. And if Michael were logged in, he would be able to see it, but I don't think he is. If Bert was logged in, he could see it, but I'm just, this is kind of a one-man show here. Yes, Anna, it was supposed to start at 5:30. That's why I'm making all of these apologies, because we had technical difficulties. So, with that said, you're here because you have questions, because it's CFRN Emini trial Q&A session. So, hit Anna. You're here. You're in it right now. It's working. So how does what work? I see you have a question. Okay, so how does it work? The Concierge Alerts. You get an email. I've sent you the training videos a couple times. I send you an email every night before 9 p.m. Eastern. I cover 8 markets, and I give you 2 trades for each market. In most cases, most markets will trigger multiple times per day. So if you have 8 markets, 2 trades per market, that's 16 potential trades. And then when things like this happen, see, going back to Thursday on the S&P 500 E-mini, we triggered. I emailed you on Wednesday night to sell 2337 if the market gave you the opportunity. It gave you 5 1/4 points. It got back above the trigger, and then it gave you 6 3/4 points. Then it almost got above the trigger again, and this is where we close the week, inside the weekly trading zone. So those training videos that I email to you. It's extremely important that you watch those. Now, there are 2 ways to trade the Concierge Trade Alerts. Number 1 is you can simply trade them as they are. Sell 2337. During the personal mentoring sessions, I teach you how and where to place your stops. I also teach you how and where to look for your targets. Now that's one way of trading, and that's how I've taught in the past. However, I've been doing some work and the results are incredibly promising. What you can do is you can use the Concierge Trade Alert. When we trigger at 2337 to go short, you roll over to your 4-tick range chart and you simply take the short setups. Not the long ones, just the short ones, because you've triggered short on a much larger time frame, a much bigger picture. Okay? So you're in effect using that as a backdrop to the trading that you're actually doing, whether you're in SIM or in your live account. Okay? And you don't go live until you've put together your 10 consecutive days in SIM. Aggressive risk management is very important to us. You know, the last thing in the world we want to see you do is blow up your account and, your dreams of being a trader are gone. Because for many people, once that money's gone, they don't have a way to replace it. If you're young and healthy, you can go to work and you can make some more money. We can always make more money if we have good health, but we can't make more time. So it's important that we use our time efficiently. And some people think that the efficient use of time is to point and click, point and click, point and click, when that is it's completely the opposite. The efficient use of your time is to slow down and learn the trading strategy that we use, which is rules-based. Now, when you take that rules-based trading that you see us do in the live training room every day, and you hang that in front of the Concierge Trade Alerts, something, I don't believe in magic, but so I'll say delightful. Something delightful happens. It's almost as if you're able to see around the corner. It's really amazing. And for those of you who are on the trial, you'll have an opportunity to actually put this to work next week. And by Friday, you'll have this silly grin on your face and you'll be like, is this legal? Yeah, it is. And we're going to have a lot of fun together. And I really look forward to seeing all of the success that you'll enjoy. Because this is, I don't know, I don't think they say the bomb anymore. I'm showing my age. And I'm sure they don't say way cool. But you kids are going to love this. Now, do we have any other questions? What happens if I don't use ticks? What happens if you don't use ticks? Well, if you don't use ticks, then you can't use our trading strategy. You can trade the Concierge Trade Alerts on a 30-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, a volume chart. But if you want to trade the way we trade, then you need to learn how to use a range chart. Our chart is not a tick chart, it's a range chart. What we use in the live training room every day is a range chart. Every candle is exactly 4 ticks tall. Okay, it's a little confusing because they call it a 4-tick range chart. Some people think, oh my gosh, 4 ticks, oh, that's way too fast, I can't. It's not a tick chart, it's a range chart. Up here, you drop this down, go to custom, we'll go to custom in a minute. There we go. You click range, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will turn this into a 4-tick range chart. So not a tick chart, but a chart where every candle is exactly 4 ticks tall. Okay, so in answer to your question, you will not be able to use our strategy unless you have a platform that, number one, provides range charts, and number two, will allow you to use our indicator set. Okay? Yeah, Thinkorswim, our indicators are not compatible with Thinkorswim. You can use NinjaTrader. You can use what I'm using right now, DT Pro from Daniel's Trading. You can use multicharts.net, and there's literally 100 brokers out there, probably more, who clear their business through Gain Capital. Gain Capital is one of the largest clearing firms in the business, and they all have a platform that looks exactly like this. The only difference is this little symbol in the corner. DT stands for Daniel's Trading. So whatever broker you might be hooked up with, it would have their little symbol there. Okay? Okay, Jay, your question was, if one signed up on Wednesday night, do I still have 3 days left? Yes, sir, you sure do. Absolutely. And you should try to sign up for a mentoring session so that you and I can spend 45 minutes together one-on-one, making sure you understand how to trade the alerts and how to use them as a backdrop to the rules-based trading that Michael trains you on every single day in the live training room. Now, the thing that's so powerful about what we do in the live training room is we've been doing the same thing for 4+ years without changing anything. And people ask me, they go, wow, how come you don't ever change anything? Well, why would we? I mean, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. And so, you know, until it breaks, we wouldn't dare touch a thing. I mean, it took us many years to arrive at the point where we had something that helped us be consistently profitable on a regular basis, and we're very happy with that. We're not looking to make $1 million in one day with one contract. I know there's guys out there on late night TV that promise you they're going to teach you how to trade in just 5 days for $7,000. Well, unfortunately, people, websites, TV commercials, and even emails, they lie a lot. There is no easy street. There is no free money. You must learn how to trade. Now, some people who have very busy schedules and don't have the time required to go through the 90-day mentoring program right now. One solution for them is the Concierge Trade Alerts. The other solution is the Daily Double, where we send 2 trades every day to your smartphone or tablet. So you can be out on the job. If you're an insurance agent, you might be with a client and you get an alert on your phone, or you could be a roofer and you're up on the roof and you get an alert. And then you just simply open up your brokerage account, the app that your broker gives you, open that up on your phone, place the trade, and go back to writing up the contract with your insurance client, or go back to nailing shingles on the roof. Okay? So the several options, and everything is covered at emini.cfrn.net. D. Why futures and not options? Tons of reasons. 80% of all options contracts expire worthless. Okay? So there's no way I want to put myself into a business where I know that the odds are against me. Now, yes, there are people out there who send you stuff in the mail and they show you these statements where they made all this crazy money. But if you come to the live training room in the morning, I will have our broker come in and I will have him explain to you why trading options can work as a hedge if you actually have stock positions and you're afraid that that stock position is about to go south on you. You can hedge the position. But to simply trade options, it's, to me, I kind of see it as walking up to the roulette table. So it's just not my cup of tea. On the other hand, when I trade futures, I can buy one S&P 500 contract. The margin I need to put up to take that trade is just $500. But yet I'm controlling over $100,000 of equity. And that's a lot. Take the current price. We closed out Friday at what, 23.25. Take that, multiply it times $50, because the S&P 500 pays $50 per point, and it will give you the figure. I think I did it the other day. Oh no, here's my calculator. I can do it. Okay, we just opened. We gapped lower on the open. Okay, so the current price is now $23.24.75. So we'll call it $23.24 times 50 equals. So right now, if you sell or buy one S&P 500 E-mini contract, you're going to have to put up $500 in margin, but you're controlling $116,200 of equity in the S&P 500 best of breed. It's like you walking into your broker's office, your stockbroker's office, with 5 $100 bills. You plop them down on his desk and say, would you buy me $116,000 worth of stock? And when he stops laughing, you'll explain to him that you don't understand why he's laughing. And he'll tell you, you can't buy $116,000 worth of stock for $500. And then that's when you explain to him about E-mini futures, and he's like, dang. When I had a flesh and blood broker, he was a good friend of mine, actually. We became friends over the years. I put both his kids through college. When I moved into, he's like, why don't you ever call me anymore? I said, dude, I'm trading futures now. This guy, over 20 years as a stockbroker, he goes, what are futures? I had to educate him. And then he got pretty excited. And he started doing his own research and due diligence on futures and what they were and how you trade them. And there's tax benefits, but your accountant has to explain to you what those tax benefits are, because I am not licensed to talk to you about your tax situation. But you can do a quick Google, what are the tax benefits of trading E-mini futures? In fact, you can Google CFRN. What are the benefits of trading E-mini futures? And you'll find several articles I've written over the last 10 years regarding that topic. We rolled out in 2005, and so we're coming up on our 12th year anniversary. So I would never think of going back to equities, except for the occasional special opportunity, which in December I revealed my number one stock pick for 2017. And anybody that wants a 150-page research report on that stock, you can send an email to gold@cfrn.net, and I'll be happy to email you a copy of that research report. The email address kind of gives it away. Yes, it is a mining company, and I think it has incredible upside potential, but you need to talk to a licensed investment professional before you make any investment decision. I am a trader. I am a radio talk show host. I am a producer. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a founder. But what I'm not is a broker, and I'm not an accountant. So I advise you on things that I can. I share my opinion on the other things that I can, and the rest you have to go to the appropriate professional for that information. D says, I work in construction. Can I trade futures at night? Absolutely. It's another beautiful thing about futures. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, the futures market opened. So, as you can see on the S&P 500, we gapped lower on the open. On the Dow, we gapped lower on the open. See, this is where we closed Friday, and this is where we opened tonight. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, that began the Monday session. The Monday session will end tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, that will begin the Tuesday session. Okay? So, yes, that is the beautiful thing about futures. If you have a day job, you can still come home. You can trade at night. You can go to bed early, get up early, trade the London Open. You can trade pre-market. If you're on the West Coast, you can stay up until midnight. That's the London Open. And within an hour or two, hopefully you have your goal for the day. Go catch some shut-eye, and you still make it in for the 9 to 5. Which course? The 90-day mentoring course, D? We have the Concierge Trade Alert service. We have the 90-day mentoring program, which is an educational program, okay? That's the one that I think everyone should focus on first. You know, learning how to trade, the nuts and bolts, how to read a chart like a newspaper. The way I see it, when I open the charts every morning, I'm like a detective arriving at the crime scene. I whip out my little notepad and I start writing down all the clues. Where are the buyers? Where are the sellers? Okay, buyers are camped up here, sellers are camped down here. All right. And so as I start to think about psychology and how the hive mind works, It's nothing supernatural. It's not witchcraft. It's not crystal balls. It's really kind of common sense. When you see where the markets are positioned, where the buyers are, where the sellers are, and using our weekly trading zones and our indicator set that every CFRN partner owns, it allows you to make sure that you only put on high probability trades. Now, does that mean every trade is going to be profitable? No. There is no product, there is no service available in the world that will allow you to be profitable on every trade. In fact, I'm going to give you a statistic. The best trader on planet Earth, who has an office with co-located servers right next door to the exchange, he's got big flat screens all over the wall, he's got people scurrying around with iPads and stuff, and the best that he can hope for is to be profitable 7 out of 10 trades. That's it. And where so many traders make their mistake is when they get into the business because maybe they were a doctor or an airline pilot or an engineer. Those jobs don't allow do-overs. You got to land the plane right every time. When you open somebody up to remove their appendix, you got to make sure you open the right side every time, or you won't be a doctor very long. You follow what I'm saying? Now, people spend tens of thousands of dollars chasing gurus and indicators and oscillators that promise them they can be perfect traders. You know, it's criminal. It really is. We tell you the truth. You're going to get stopped out. You're going to get stopped out every day. And there's nothing you can do about it except learn that this is a business based on probabilities. And so when you learn to accept the stop out with grace and simply move on to the next trade, that's when you begin to be a consistently profitable trader. Some people are never able to accept that. They continue to believe the lie that there's some way, somehow, that you can trade without being stopped out. Getting stopped out is part of the business. As with every business, there's a cost of doing business. Okay? If you open a Subway sandwich shop, well, first you got to pay the franchise fee, which is expensive, but then just in your day-to-day operations, I mean, you got to buy the meats, you got to buy the cheeses, you got to bake the bread, you got to do all these different things. That costs money. In the world of futures trading, the trades that get stopped out, that's your cost of doing business. That's your inventory costs. The only other expense you have is your commissions. And the really beautiful thing about futures trading is that you can trade from anywhere in the world that has a stable internet connection. All right, I got time for one or two more quick questions, and then I got to rocket, but I'll be in the live training room tomorrow morning. So back to your question, D. The 90-day course is $3,500. Right now, we have a holiday special. We've whacked $1,000 off of that price. No, I'm sorry, $700. It's $2,797. That's for the full 90 days. You own the indicator set for life. At the end of the 90 days, if you want to remain an active partner, you can do so for a minimal monthly fee of just $75 per month. Ricardo asked, if we can't afford yet the 90-day mentoring program, could we purchase a 30-day prorated subscription and continue on as our income increases? I'm sorry, Ricardo, we don't offer that. All of our partners, currently we have over 700, every one of them made the commitment of time and treasure to learn how to trade. And so it would be unfair to them to now, change the rules and do that. My suggestion is that you simply save up the money, or when you go to check out at PayPal, they're going to offer you 6 months of no interest and no payments. If you can make a payment every month, 1/6 of the total cost, and if you can commit to making that payment every month, at the end of 6 months, when the interest kicks in and the payments kick in, you don't owe them any money. Now that's called smart business, because you're using other people's money for free. That's the kind of thing Warren Buffett and Donald Trump do all day long. But it's very rare that you get an opportunity to use other people's money for free. So for you, that might be, your best bet. If you can make that payment every month so that you're paid up at the end of 6 months, so you never pay a penny of interest. I don't want anybody going in debt to learn how to trade, because trading in and of itself is risky. You can lose all of your money and then some. On our website, you'll find the required CFTC disclosures. You'll find our own CFRN disclaimers. A lot of websites, a lot of emails try to tell you how easy it is. Let me be the first to tell you, trading's not easy, but it can be simple. And if you're in the live training room tomorrow, if you take the Concierge Trade Alert trial, if you take the Daily Double trial, if you take any of the trials we have to offer, I will show you not how trading can become easy, but how it can become simple. Man has complicated trading so they can sell you more stuff. We've simplified it so that you only have to spend a fraction of what most other people charge you. And we offer something that no one else offers: one-on-one, unlimited mentoring. That means as long as you're an active partner, anytime you want, you can go to a page on our website, you can book a mentoring session, and you and I, or you and Mike, will spend 45 minutes one-on-one critiquing your trades, looking at what's happening in your, with your trading, troubleshooting it, getting you back on the right track if you're having a problem, helping you regain your confidence so that you can go live again. Okay? We do not want you to bleed out on the trading floor. You have to first pass a 10-day test before we even give you the green light to go live. And then once you go live, if you don't stay consistently profitable, you got to come back into sim. That's no walk of shame by any stretch of the imagination. It's a wise, savvy business decision. Again, it's the kind of decision a Warren Buffett would make. I'm going back into sim where I can't lose any money, and I want to figure out what's wrong, and I'm going to fix it, because I'm building a business here. But I got to lay a firm foundation. I've got to have a good cornerstone. And if I really apply myself, I believe I can build not only wealth, but generational wealth. D, you just asked me if I ever heard of a certain company and their indicator system. I'm not going to call out the name of the company because I don't believe in doing that. But yes, I have heard of it, and some of their people are now partners of ours, and they came to us saying, I went with this guy, but he never taught me how to trade. Do you guys actually teach people how to trade? And we say, yes, that's what we do. That's what we've been doing since 2005. We actually teach people how to trade. So if you went through that, D, and had a bad experience, I'm sorry it happened to you. If you're considering it, just be careful. There's a lot of people out there who want your money more than you do. There's a lot of wolves on the way to Wall Street. There's also a lot of good people who have fine programs and do the right thing. Okay? Now, because we got started late, I can't run long like I often do. I've got to wrap this thing up. It is Easter Sunday. My wife cooked a very special dinner, and I don't want to hurt her feelings and not be at the table. Are there any final questions? You can call 949-42 Emini or email support@cfrn.net. Once again, 949-42 Emini or support@cfrn.net. Thanks so much, guys, for dropping in on this Easter afternoon, and I'll see you all at the bell. Take care.